Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's ShekkiStarr. Let's learn about astrology. So, as you may or may not know, Pluto is currently transiting Aquarius. I want to tell you all what that means for your rising sign. Pluto will be transiting in Aquarius over the next 20 years. If you didn't know, Pluto just left Capricorn, which it transited over a 15-year period. The last time Pluto had entered into a new sign was in 2008. That kind of gives you a glimpse of how the next decades are gonna go for you, the next generation of children. Pluto tells us a lot in regards to that. In general, Pluto is the planet of transformation. It symbolizes death and rebirth and just the overall breaking down of things and rebuilding of new things. In addition to that, there is the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is your unconventional sign. It's more abstract. It's going to lead to things that are more progressive. In general, we are seeing a death and rebirth of all things unconventional and more progressive. So to follow along with this video, you will want to know either your rising sign or the house that Pluto is currently transiting, okay? So if you know your rising sign, just listen out for that. Let's get started. If Aquarius rules your first house or you are a Pisces rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your self-image the most. So you're going to see the most impact in how you present yourself. Maybe you're going to drastically change your appearance over the next 20 years, or you're going to dive into a new style. The first house has to do with self-image, your presentation, your ego, your life perspective, and your goals. So because this is an angular house, meaning whatever planets transit this house, it's going to create a major evolution. Pluto is going to be causing drastic transformation of the self, like I said, of the ego. Even how you perceive yourself is going to change. You won't even recognize yourself by the end of this transit. Yeah, so that's Pisces rising. If Aquarius rules your second house or you are a Capricorn rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect how you make money. Your values and self-worth are where you will see the most impact over the next 20 years. This house, it has to do more so with values, your morals. So it can be values financially speaking and values in a sense of your morals and how you look at the world, how you make money, your income, personal possessions, and self-worth. Because this is a succedent house, meaning this house relies on the decisions of the planets that are in angular houses. So you'll want to look at those planets that are in your first, fourth, 7th, and 10th houses to see how this is going to affect you specifically. For example, if you have your moon in the first house, this may signify that most of your thoughts will be about how you can expand your income during this time. You're constantly going to be thinking about unconventional, untraditional, progressive ways to bring more value into your life. Like I said, monetarily speaking and morally speaking. If Aquarius rules your third house or you are a Sagittarius rising, Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your closest relationships the most. You may grow a closer bond to your siblings, neighbors, your friends. Remember that Pluto signifies radical transformation, okay? So don't be surprised if there are major upheavals of these relationships. Some will turbulently end, unfortunately, and others will blossom. You may even move somewhere local or travel domestically, like within the country, if you're from the United States, as the third house has to do with siblings, neighbors, close friends, locality, communication, information, basic education, local travel, and transportation. Because this is a cadent house, meaning the planets in them represent an ending of sorts, there will be a lot of cycles of completion or the ending of chapters as it relates to these close bonds and relationships over the next 20 years. If Aquarius rules your 4th house or you are a Scorpio rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your personal roots the most. This can mean understanding your heritage, your ancestry. It can mean learning about where you want to physically locate yourself over the next 20 years. You may grow a closer bond or go through transformations with your mom or maternal figures. As the 4th house has to do with moms, mothers, maternal figures, roots, physical location and ancestry, household, neighborhood matters, property, and antiques. Because this is an angular house, meaning whatever planets transit this house will create major evolution, Pluto will be causing drastic transformation of your personal household matters. You're going to be considering new and unique, unconventional ways in which your past family history and upbringing contributes to how you are today. If Aquarius rules your 5th house or you are a Libra rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your creative and dating life the most. This can mean that you will drastically transform the way that you experience the pleasures of life. The 5th house has to do with artistry, creativity, music, children, pleasures, hobbies, games, and romance. Because this is a succedent house, meaning that this house relies on the decisions of the planets that are in the angular houses, you'll want to look at those planets in the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses to see how this affects you specifically over the next 20 years. For example, having your moon in the 1st house may signify that most of your thoughts will be about how you can bring more pleasure, beauty, and love into your life during this time, even in unconventional ways, even in more progressive ways. You will be constantly considering new fun and creative ways to date and express your creativity. Beyonce is a Libra rising, and we have already seen her begin to take those new steps in her creative endeavors, first with Renaissance Act 1, right? The different sounds, the feel-good music, electro pop, right? And now it was rumored that she was going to go into country based off of, her outfit that she wore to the 2024 Grammys, right? But she just recently announced that she will be dropping a country album. Guys, Act 2 is country. She announced that she's going to be dropping a country album on my birthday, okay? March 29th is a national holiday. I don't care what you say, okay? Me and Beyonce is sisters, okay? Say my name, say my name. But just having these acts in general is something we rarely see from artists. She's really pushing the boundaries of what we can expect from her visually and aesthetically. Everyone was expecting visuals to accompany the Renaissance album. And she said, honey, you are the visuals. That was unconventional. And then she was like, I'm gonna put y'all all in my documentary movie. These are the new creative, unconventional, progressive things that I was speaking about. Yeah, these are the things that you're gonna see. If Aquarius rules your 6th house or you are a Virgo rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your health and routines the most. This can mean that over the next 20 years, you will radically transform how you take care of your physical and mental health and how your work routine may be contributing to this, as the 6th house has to do with work, routines, physical and mental health, illness prevention, and even pets. Being that this is a cadent house, meaning the planets in them represent an ending of sorts, there will be a lot of cycles of completion or endings of chapters as it relates to these routines and the thought process as it pertains to your health over the next 20 years. If Aquarius rules your 7th house or you are a Leo rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your contractual obligations the most. If you are married, think the things that you consider the fundamental foundational characteristics of a marriage, or what bounds you together outside of love and romance. As the 7th house has to do with contractual relationships, obligations, marriage, business partners, justice, law, and legal system. Because this is an angular house, meaning whatever planets transit this house will create major evolution, Pluto will be causing drastic transformations of any contractual obligations or legal matters that you come across over the next 20 years. So think deeds, trusts, litigation, the government, things of that nature. If Aquarius rules your 8th house or you are a Cancer rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your public finances and shared resources the most. In contrast to the 2nd house, which has to do with the money how you value money, this house has more to do with how you spend it. So over the next 20 years, you can expect extreme transformations regarding the more taboo topics that have to do with finances, as the 8th house has to do with finances, shared resources, legacies, taxes, but it also has to do with birth, death, sex, karma, pain, transformation, secrets, and the occult. Because this is a succedent house, meaning this house relies on the decisions of the planets that are in angular houses, you will want to look at those planets in your 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses to see how this is going to affect you specifically over the next 20 years. Overall, you will see more intense internal power struggles within your relationships. If Aquarius rules your 9th house or you are a Gemini rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect the way that you explore the world the most, and as well as higher learning. The 9th house has to do with non-local travel, foreigners, cultures, freedom, independence, exploration, intellect, religion, philosophy, and higher learning. Over the next 20 years, you can expect extreme transformations in your own philosophies and level of intellect. You might start to take more unconventional and progressive ways of foreign travel or start exploring other cultures. Being that this is a Caden house, meaning the planets in them represent an ending of sorts, there will be a lot of cycles of completion or endings of chapters as it relates to these philosophies and even how you view religion. If Aquarius rules your 10th house or you are a Taurus rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your career goals and ambitions the most over the next 20 years. You may experience transformations as it relates to father figures, authority figures, since the 10th house has to do with your career, public image, goals and ambitions, fathers, authority figures, status, fame, political advancement, and the government. You might begin to take unconventional approaches to transforming your relationships with your career and personal goals and endeavors, because this is an angular house, meaning whatever planets transit this house will create major evolution. And so Pluto will be causing drastic transformations of your public image and reputation over the next 20 years. Personally, Pluto just left my 10th house, and though I was a child for the most of it, Pluto began transiting Capricorn in 2008, like I said. As Pluto was transiting out of Capricorn, my ideals changed about what my dream career looked like. At first, I valued stability and longevity in my career, but now I more so value comfort and flexibility. And especially now, I'm more interested in entrepreneurship and philanthropy than I am to contributing to the success of some huge corporation that benefits off of capitalism and consumerism, overconsumption and things like that. So this has led me to think of more unconventional ways to accomplish my goals and gain income. And that's what landed me here on YouTube, actually. So I figured I want to make money just for simply being myself, looking cute, dressing up, modeling, that sort of thing. And so I found out that there were just so many ways to do that. So that's my personal experience with Pluto transiting my 10th house. Like I said, even though I was a child, like those themes really hit in the top of this year when Pluto was leaving Capricorn and entering Aquarius. If Aquarius rules your 11th house, or you are an Aries rising like me, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect your friendships and opportunities the most. This house has to do with friendships, opportunities, groups and belongings, local government, gaining knowledge, unusual ideas, and astrology. You may open up yourself to more unconventional ideas and ways of learning over the next 20 years. You might find yourself interested in astrology even. And because this is a succedent house, meaning this house relies on the decisions of the planets that are in angular houses, you're gonna wanna look at the planets that are in your first, 4th, 7th, and 10th house to see how this is gonna affect you specifically over the next 20 years. You know, Pluto entered Aquarius only recently in January of this year, and baby, okay, she is giving me a run for my money, okay, in the friendship department. Like I said in the beginning of this video, Pluto stands for transformation and death and rebirth of ideals. So that generally means an intent and ending to what is no longer serving you, and so that you can make room for what is. It's so that you can make room for the good that is uprising in your life. So far, I've learned that I tend to make room and give grace to people that I don't have all that close of a bond or relationship with in the first place. So when they do something that crosses a boundary for me, it hurts worse because I was already giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm learning to take inventory of the people that are in my life and the connections that I have to ensure that they're there for a good reason and that they're serving a greater purpose and that they make me feel good at the same time. So far, Pluto in Aquarius is showing me through an unconventional way how to look at my friendships. Because before it was just, about whether or not they're nice. It's no longer just about that. And last but certainly not least, if Aquarius rules your 12th house or you are an Aquarius rising, the Pluto and Aquarius transit will affect all things spiritual over the next 20 years. Now, this is not to be confused with religion, although religion can fall under this category in this house as well, but it's not to do with the practice of religion, but more so the effect that it has on your spirit and in your subconscious. You're going to be introduced to new unconventional thought patterns in relation to these things, since the 12th house has to do with spirituality, the occult, mysticism, seclusions, prisons, hospitals, sheltered at home, secrets, hidden enemies, insecurities, artistry, musical talent, and psychic ability. Being that this is a cadent house, meaning the planets in them represent an ending of sorts, there will be a lot of cycles of completion or ending of chapters as it relates to how you view spirituality and the occult, and even how you view religion over the next 20 years. All right, guys, I hope you guys learned a lot. If nothing else, you should at least know what your rising sign is by now, right? Go look it up in Google and go input your birth date, time, and location if you want to know for sure. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about the Pluto and Aquarius transit. Let me know what your rising sign is, and if you're so far already kind of seeing the effects of Pluto and Aquarius right now. Let me know if it's giving y'all a run for y'all money, because it's baby. Okay, but like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know. Bye.